In this video, I'm going to demonstrate an issue with the Nikon Z's Auto Area AF mode where it refuses to focus on a foreground subject. In the foreground here, I have a smartphone with a photo of a face, and I have the camera's face and eye detect enabled. You can see here that the camera is locked onto that background, and even when I block off portions of that background, the camera refuses to acknowledge the foreground subject and attempt to focus on it, and instead just tries to find a slice of the background to stay focused on. This has implications when you're doing particularly a video where you're popping in and out of the frame, where you want the camera to focus on the background, but then when you enter the frame again, you want the camera to focus on yourself to do the voiceover. And as you can see here, the camera just refuses to do so. So here I'm manually focusing onto that face to get it enough into focus so that the camera can recognize the face. And here you can see it's locked onto an eye. And so I'll block that off. You can see the camera wobble there for a second, try to focus on the background, but is now just stuck trying to find that foreground again. So here we're back onto the face in the foreground. Block it off again, and here the camera did successfully reacquire the background. And so I'm going to then try to unblock the foreground subject, and rather than focusing on that foreground again, the camera's just now stuck on the background. So it seems to be modal, where it'll either just focus only on the background or only on the foreground, but just is not doing the switching necessary to switch back and forth between the two. So again, here I'm blocking off portions of the background and the camera's just refusing to acknowledge the foreground. So here I'm manually focusing again, get that face detected and the eye, block that off, and then the camera's just waiting for a foreground subject to come back into frame. Here you can actually see it's trying to focus on the barrier itself. There it's back onto the foreground. So again here the camera reacquires the background, and now it'll just not focus on that foreground anymore.